Let's talk about plastic bottles at Eden Prairie High School. So it's the fall season, it's a hot day, pretty tough practice, and you're really, really thirsty, so you grab a plastic bottle. But I want you to stop and think before you grab it. What is happening? What's the big deal? Recycle bin's right there, you can throw it in the recycle bin. It's only your bottle, you're taking care of it like you need to. But 20% of those plastic bottles, only 20% end up being recycled. The rest end up in our landfill. So that's 80% of the plastic bottles in the United States that end up in a landfill. Again, what's the big deal? Your bottle's going into that recycling bin. Well, let's think about it. Fall season, Eden Prairie High School, how many people are out there practicing, doing their different activities? Football participants. We've got 180 athletes at Eden Prairie High School. Boys and girls cross country, there are 90 athletes for cross country. Soccer, both boys and girls together, 200 athletes are in soccer during the fall season. We also have girls swimming and diving during the fall. 70 athletes. Pom Squad dance team, they practice in the fall. 63 athletes for both of those teams. Cheerleaders and girls tennis. For cheerleaders, we've got 70 athletes, and for tennis, 48. Eagle Band, you know they practice twice a week in the evening, but every single day also. Eagle Band has 180 people out on that field practicing on that hot fall day. How many people in Eden Prairie is that on one day practicing on that hot day where they want to grab that water bottle? 850. So if each one of those athletes grabs a water bottle, that's 850 bottles in one day. So what I want you to think about is the number of people, the number of bottles. And what we did calculate is talking about the coaches, the trainers, the student managers, the fans, the parents out watching those sports. Let's just focus on the athletes. So if we've got a fall season that's 10 weeks long, and we know most of our seasons are longer than that, but we'll go with an average of 10 weeks. 10 weeks, 850 athletes. We say we practice Monday through Friday. How many bottles is that? 42,500 bottles. 42,500 bottles just by Eden Prairie athletes during the fall season. That is a lot of bottles. And again, remember, we didn't calculate the coaches, we didn't calculate the fans, we didn't calculate the parents, we didn't calculate everybody else who's taking part in that activity. A lot of bottles. And remember, 20% get recycled, 80% end up in the landfill. So that's 8,500 that get recycled, 34,000 bottles just from Eden Prairie High School fall athletics ends up in the landfill. So I want to talk about what that does to our environment. And you know this, it takes a long time for plastic to decompose. We don't have great information about that, but it's estimated that it takes about 700 years before plastic starts to decompose and over 1,000 years to fully decompose. Of course, we don't know if that's the true number value yet because we haven't crossed 700 years yet. 60 million plastic bottles each day in the US, 30 million in Europe, and 10 million worldwide every day are used. Again, if we just focus on Eden Prairie, but look at those numbers, it's huge. It takes 3 to 5 times more water to make one water plastic bottle. And I think the huge thing too is as we talk about global warming, climate change, 2.5 billion tons of carbon dioxide is produced from manufacturing that plastic bottle each year. 151 billion liters of petroleum to produce that plastic bottle. That would run 500 200,000 cars every year. So it's taking away our oil that we could use for other resources. Just to get the plastic bottles to the market, so we're talking about distributing, so going from manufacturing to the stores, 1.7 billion liters just to distribute that plastic bottle, and that's in the United States alone. So as I said before, 3 to 5 times more water to manufacture that plastic bottle than what we actually consume with it. Making that plastic bottle in the US alone, 17 million barrels of oil every single year. We know the oil problems that we're having. We know about it not being a great renewable resource because it takes a long time to produce that oil. So what are we going to do about that? That's where you guys come in, and you need to think about what can you do about that. Now, as you know, that there's a lot of different people involved in the plastic water industry. There's a lot of people involved in the sports drink industry. They are telling us what we should buy. You need to do the same thing. We need an engineering team to design and develop a system to hydrate those athletes. We don't want them to grab that plastic bottle. We want to make it easy, we want to make it safe, we want to make it affordable, and we want them to say, here is where you should be drinking, here's where you should be rehydrating. That engineering team is going to do that for us. We need a research team that's going to collect a ton of data to show people the impact that plastic bottles have on our waste system and on our environment. One thing I haven't talked about is we need a research team to show the health impact that drinking out of plastic has for us. Reusing plastic, what that does to us. We need a team to show us that so that it will help us sell our way that we're going to hydrate. We need educators. We need a team that will show athletes what's the best thing to hydrate with. Is it really Gatorade? Are they selling us something that's best for us, or are they selling us their product? That education team's going to help us with that. And then lastly, we need our marketers. And we know, because we watch TV, we read magazines, we know how important that marketing team is. We need the marketers to get the word out there and use all of this information that the other teams are going to provide for us so that we stop using those throwaway plastic bottles. So, it is time to create our teams.